Thank you, thank you. Thank you everyone for joining us. We'll be getting started in just a moment. I really appreciate you taking the time to join us here at the OCDE virtual Summer of CS. Just a moment. Thank you for joining us. My name is Omar Shepard. I have the honor of serving as a curriculum specialist in STEM and career education with the Orange County Department of Education. And we really just have a mission to really create opportunities for all students to have access to STEM and computer science. And we're so excited to do that. One of the things I want to make sure I do is share a little bit of where we've been. If you give me just a moment here. So one thing I want to walk you through, just in case you find yourself saying, hey, we talked about some great things today. Where can I access those resources? Well, at stem.ocde.us, it'll bring you right over to our website, where you can go right down and click on the computer science tab there. There we have a whole host of resources for you. You know, as we adopted California K-12 computer science standards back in 2018, we've been doing our best to create a space where you can be able to access information about the resources, understanding more about the ways in which you can integrate computer science into your classroom. You can feel free to click on the distance learning resources we have there for you. But as far as today is, you can click on the computer science professional learning tab, where you'll be able to scroll down and take a look. Last week, we opened up with culturally responsive CS, really making this statement. If we want more persons of color, more women and girls in STEM and computer science, it's going to be about more than just providing access, but creating an opportunity for them to have the support to access their true intellective capacity. I invite you to take a look at the videos as well as the resources that are right there on the website. Today, though, we'll be opening up with a look at coding in HTML with SkillStruck. And then tomorrow, we'll have some time learning about starting up a coding club with Girls Who Code. And then Thursday, we'll be focused on coding at home with Ozobot. So thank you so much for joining us. Right now, I'm going to stop sharing my screen. And I want you to know I'm going to drop a link to the resources right there for you in the chat. Meanwhile, though, I'd like to introduce a wonderful person I met on this journey to really promote computer science. His name is Jerem Sessions, representing SkillStruck, definitely an ambassador for computer science. So Jerem, I'd like to welcome you and the SkillStruck team. Please do introduce yourself.
Awesome. Thank you, Omar. It's a pleasure to be here. And it's been a pleasure to get to know you and see all the great work you've been doing with your districts in your county. A little bit about me and SkillStruck, we're passionate about computer science, like Omar said, and biggest thing is getting the exposure out there. Our main platform is a full K through 12 alignment. Our goal is to get, again, people and kids at all ages involved in computer science, that they can partake of these awesome and amazing opportunities in the careers that are open to them. And right now, SkillStruck, we're 3 years old, and we're making a big push and dent into as far as innovation goes with computer science. We're pushing the limits on what the students are able to create, and that's one of the amazing things to see is what they're able to create, and that's what computer science does. Right now, we're in a crazy time where, especially in Orange County, everyone's having to go to 100% online remote learning, and SkillStruck has tools and technology to make teachers' lives easier as they have to implement online, and helps at the same time keep the students engaged and make sure that they're working their hardest in creating fun projects. So we have technology as far as auto graders, lesson plans, everything built out. And what you're going to see today is a great example of how Amy, our director of learning, is going to show you how a lesson looks like with remote learning. You guys are going to be in it. And it's what everybody's having to face. And so I want to introduce Amy a little bit here before she hops on, that she's been teaching coding classes to people young and old She is now using her master's degree in instructional design to create engaging ways to teach computer science for teachers and students all over the country. So she's excited to help you feel confident in your coding, and she's going to help you be able to sign in to make your free demo account so we can all work together here. And so with that, I'll give it over to Amy.
Awesome. Thanks, Jerem. Can everybody hear me okay? I hope that the sound is good for everyone. Welcome to this class. We're excited to have everybody here. The goal for the end of this class is that you can walk away with like a pretty decent working website and some experience in HTML and some ideas on how a teacher of any subject could actually use HTML in their class. So let's just get started. I'll just share my screen. So the host needs to enable screen sharing for me to show. I think Omar's working on that.
Yes, I am. Just one moment here. I've pulled up the Amy, and I've made you the co-host. Yes. All right. Do you have host privileges now?
I think so.
Awesome. Wonderful.
All right. Can everyone see my screen here? So the first things first is we need to get y'all into the SkillStruck platform so we can start programming. But before we do this, I want to just get kind of a feel of where you guys are at in your HTML experience. So Omar, if you could launch that poll, I could get kind of a feel of where everybody's at.
Omar, you are on mute if you're trying to say something, just so you know.
Thank you. I've just launched the poll.
Okay, it looks like it's the finished poll.
Oh,
the attendees are doing it. Okay.
Oh. So maybe we'll give it a few more seconds and then we can end the poll. All right, we'll end the poll now.
Okay.
All right, there you go.
Okay. So it looks like there's kind of a good spread on some exposure to all these different languages, JavaScript, Python. And it looks like a good chunk of you have had some experience with HTML. So a little bit of something. Okay, that's good for me to know. Today, I'm going to teach assuming that you've had no experience to give you kind of an idea of maybe what it would be like for a student to start right from scratch. It's just good for me to know kind of your background. Other things for this particular class, in every 10 minutes or so, I'm gonna stop and allow you guys to ask questions. So if you have something that you wanted to like say verbally, you can, every 10 minutes or so, I'll give you like 5 minutes and you can unmute yourself and you can ask questions and we'll answer them. Other than that, hey Omar, this poll keeps popping up for me. I wonder if we could cancel that out. Yeah, so other than that, if you have questions along the way, like your code's not working or something, go ahead and throw it in the chat, throw your question in there, and I've got a team of people who are there to answer your questions. So that's kind of how this flow will work. Every 10 minutes, I'll say, okay, any questions? And you guys can share screens and things like that, but along the way, just throw it in the chat. That's kind of how it will work. So if you guys can all navigate to this webpage right here, there's a link in the chat to get there. It's that, the demo account, the myskillstruck.com/community codes. And once you get here, all you do is your full name and your email and hit submit and it'll take you right to where we need to go. So I'll demonstrate. Amy Alsop, and I'll throw in my email. This is my actual email, so if you wanted to reach out, you're welcome to. Hit submit, and it should take you straight to this demo page right here. So if anyone is unable to get through to this page, please throw it into the chat and we'll make sure that you get there. This is what our platform looks like. Jerem, did you want to go over this platform or do you want me to just go for it?
Yeah, you're good to show it what you'd like.
Okay, cool. So this is basically where the student goes, and right here in the center, this is where the coding happens, where they type in everything. And then over here on the right, they hit save and they hit run, and this is what it looks like. So they can work right here and just really quickly see what their code is doing. And then over here on the left, these are the resources that we provide. So you can see we have all these different languages. We've got JavaScript and CSS and stuff, and we do have a Python section as well. Today we're gonna stay in HTML1. So if we click into HTML1 here, you can see all these different like little lessons that we teach about HTML. Today you and I only have like an hour, so we're gonna hit like the most exciting parts. But these are all here, and each one you can click in and you can see it's got kind of like this textbook approach, like information, examples, a video, and all this great stuff. And if you go down to start checkpoint, you can have the kids check their code, see, hey, do I know how to do this? And then they check the code and see if it works. There's also a quiz and challenges and games. There's just tons of stuff in here to practice. So in our time today, we just want to actually do it. Let's actually start coding. So all of this in here that's already in there is put in there so you can see kind of this example on the right. We're going to delete all of it. So go ahead and highlight the entire thing and delete it. We're going to start from scratch. So hit save and hit run. And there we are, starting from the beginning. So the first thing we're going to learn in HTML are headers. We're going to kind of skip around just to get the best parts. So headers, if you go to the textbook like here on the left, you can see if you scroll down to these gray boxes, that's what I love to do. Like I recommend to my students every time, hey, just go down to the examples, you can see what the code looks like. So HTML has these things called tags, and tags, they use like these alligator, we need a word for this key right here. There's not a word for it, alligator mouth, I guess. So you use these to create the tag. So you can see the H1 here stands for header, so header 1. And you make sure you put it between these alligator mouths. And then what you want it to actually say goes between the two sets of alligator mouths. So we'll go hello world. And you'll notice that the second set of alligator mouths has like this / here. And go ahead and code along and just copy exactly what I do or explore around, whatever you prefer to do. The second tag here has this /. That's kind of like the period for HTML. It's telling you that your thought is done, or that's the end of your tag or the end of your idea. So if we hit save and hit run over here, you can see that display over here on your web page. This is the web page we're building. So we always do hello world because, as many of you know, that's tradition in computer science to go with tradition, because like the first computer program that ever happened, the computer said hello world back and it was really exciting. So we got to do that for tradition. So go ahead and try again to make another header tag. So we'll go try a different number. See how this one has H2. We'll do H2. How's it going? Make sure to close it. When I say close your tag, that means add your second tag here, kind of your bookend with that /. That's closing your tag. So go ahead and hit run. And you can kind of see there's a difference between H1 and H2. H2 is slightly smaller. So the bigger your H tag goes, the smaller your code. So go ahead and do an example of an H6. Good, how are you? I always tell my students hit save first and hit run. See how small that it goes? So the different header tags is a way to kind of style your website to create bigger or smaller headings. So that's the header tags. And you don't have to put them in order. You can move them around however you'd like. So sometimes new learners HTML, they think, oh, H1 means my first header. That's not the case. H1 can be down here. You can have multiple H1s. It's just determining the size of the header tag. So H1 is the biggest and H6 is the smallest. So yeah, if you have any questions or if it's not working for you, go ahead and throw it in the chat. I'm going to teach one more concept and then I'll open it up for questions with the whole group. So we'll go to the next concept. So we'll go over here on the lessons. Today I'm going to hit headers, text colors. We'll see if we have time for fonts, paragraphs, images, and videos. That's what we're going to hit today. So we'll go ahead and go to text colors. I always scroll down here on the left to the example box. This second one's a really good one. So if we want to add color to our website, which we always do because color makes it way more exciting. Let's say I wanted color this hello world tag up at the top. You can see that, so for coding is super specific. Like you have to put things exactly where they go and you have to include each quotation mark. You can see it here, and each colon and each semicolon, they all have to be right in the right place or it's not going to listen to you. So you can see that this style equals quotation mark color colon green semicolon and then the other alligator mouth. All of that goes right here. See how it's inside the opening tag of your H1? That's what I mean by inside, is between those alligator mouths. So we got to add this style equals quotation mark. And I always put both of mine so I don't forget to do my second one. And then color colon, and I want my color to be red because red's my favorite color. Red, and then this semicolon. Hit save and hit run and see how that made it red. That's exactly how you do it. And the other thing I love to tell students is that the things we're learning in this really quick, really basic workshop is exactly how the pros do it. Professional web developers use this exact same syntax. They use HTML to build websites. And there's a way to actually look on websites at the HTML that they've done. So you can see exactly how they do it. And we're doing it the exact same way. So I think that's super awesome that like kids like in 3rd grade can learn this stuff. I think it's way exciting. So let's go ahead and try to add color to all of your header tags. So I'm going to go ahead and style this H6 here. So style equals color, making sure that my colon is in the right place and the quotation mark's in the right place. I want this to be blue because I like blue too. Hit run and there it goes. So I'll just keep demonstrating. I'll just add color to all these tags. Equals color green. Style equals color orange. And often that students' next question is like, well, what color options are there? You can use hexadecimal values in this space, but we don't teach that until CSS. But if you scroll down here, we do have a list of different color choices that you can put in there, some fun things. Like I really like this one. I don't even know how to pronounce it. Chartreuse. I think it looks really cool. I'll do it on this top one. I think it's like a really bright color. So I'm just gonna stop there for a second and open it up to see if there's any questions. So if anybody wants to go ahead and unmute themselves and ask anything so far, you're welcome to. Other than that, you're welcome to maybe try the checkpoint or try making maybe like a rainbow out of H1 through H6 tags. So does anybody have any questions or any clarification that needs to happen?
Amy, I have a question. This is Mac. I've been having some computer problems, so I've been dancing around 2 or 3 computers here. I'm back with you. I'm looking for the SkillStruck demo pin. It's asking me for a 6-digit pin. I did not see that.
So did you go to the link in the right here? Yeah, or it's in the chat. Sorry, you can't see my screen. The myskillstruck.com/community codes. Because it shouldn't ask you for a pin.
Was that in the email?
It's right
No.
there in the chat. Omar just barely put it in again. So because it should take you to a page that looks just like this, and it only asks for your name and your email.
Okay, hold on.
We'd like
And
to
I use the one that just says playground or the one that says community codes?
Playground.
Okay.
Do they both go to the same place, Anne? Yeah, that's confusing. There's 2 links.
Yes, Amy, they should go to the same place.
Okay.
Got it.
So after you've signed in, it should just immediately take you there.
It did.
Hit submit, it should just immediately take you in to where we are. Is anybody else having trouble getting on? Because we definitely want to make sure you can get on so you can get started. Yeah, is my screen pretty small, Charlene, to see that equals sign? Is that better for me to move it in? Style equals color. Okay. Are there any other questions so far? Doing okay? Feeling good? Okay. So I'm going to show you, so far we've only done this one kind of tag called a header tag. And as you can imagine, it's used for headers, the headers of your paragraph or of your website. So the next tag I'll show you is called the paragraph tag. And it just looks like this with a P. And it's meant to do larger blocks of text. So I'll do, good morning, everyone. Welcome to our HTML lesson. I'm so glad that everyone can build websites. And again, just like always, you need to close your tag with that / and that closing alligator mouth, and you hit run. It's just a tag that's specifically designed for bigger blocks of text. And just like the header tags, you can style them just the same way. You just put it right inside that opening tag. So we'll do style equals color. I like the color tomato. And it will show up right there. So that's the paragraph tag. And right here is kind of where I like to explain, okay, how could maybe like a history teacher, how could they possibly use HTML in their classroom? That's a good question. A really easy way is that instead of doing like a PowerPoint or maybe an essay or like a cut like paper and pen project, you could have them build a website. So let's say, okay, in 5th grade, you're learning about ancient Egypt. Instead of building a PowerPoint presentation about Egypt, I want you to go and create a website about it. So I'll kind of refactor my website here to be about ancient Egypt. So up here at the top, will be like ancient Egypt project. And I'll make it, okay, by Amy Alsop. And then I won't need these other header tags, but in here I could put my information like, let's do another header. Let's do H3 and make it, what was it like in ancient Egypt? So we've got a header tag, and then underneath it, you would have them write an entire paragraph. Okay, write a paragraph about what it was like in ancient Egypt. What have you been learning about? So in ancient, are both of those supposed to be capitalized? In ancient Egypt, they believed in the afterlife. They wrote on papyrus. They engineered amazing pyramid structures. And you can have your whatever requirements you want for your kid to create this project on ancient Egypt. And then later you can have them add pictures and add videos and everything, just this awesome presentation about Egypt. Instead of doing it on a PowerPoint, they could practice their programming skills. So, and that goes for like an English class or for any sort of arts class. You can have them just create a website about whatever subject for an assignment. So that's a really easy way to bring computer science into all these different subjects. So as I move forward, I'm going to keep building this ancient Egypt site. So I don't think this lime green really works for Egypt. So I'm going to make it maybe tan. There we go. I will make this brown, maybe. There we go. I'm going to make this one orange. Perfect. So then we'll keep building out this ancient Egypt website. So let's do the next thing that people are going to want to do is definitely an image. That's definitely what the kids are going to want to do. It's like one of the biggest parts of a website. When I teach the image lesson, I always explain that like the communication that, you know, very little amount of communication is what you say. It's mostly like your body language and how it comes across. And that's very much the same for your website. They're going to look at the images before they look at any of the text on there. So images are super important. So I'll go down to the images lesson here. And as always, I scroll down to the example code. And of course, in the images lesson, I do need to explain that if you just go and pick any image online, that you could be stealing it. There's copyright issues. So it's really important that we go to a free website with images that are free. So here's a list of options. I really like Pixabay, I like Pexels, these are all great. So really encourage your students to go to these websites to get the images. So here's the example box down here. So you'll see that there's this IMG and it's inside these alligator tags. That stands for image. So we'll go ahead and create that. So IMG, image. And then this SRC stands for source, or the source of your image where you're getting it from online. SRC equals, and then we've got example.jpg. JPG is an extension for JPEG, or it's an image file. And you'll see that this right here is under incorrect image tag. So I know I've been explaining that it's really important to close your tags with that /. For image tags, for some reason, they don't have that. You don't need to close your image tags. I don't know why, that's just an HTML rule. So there you go. So the image tag doesn't need a closing tag. It's one of the very few that don't. Most other tags definitely need that closing tag. So, all right, so let's go find an image that we want to use. So go ahead and open up a new tab and go to, I really like Pixabay. These are free images, you can use them for anything. And let's look up the pyramids because we're doing ancient Egypt. Ooh, so this one looks really good. So I'm gonna click on that. So I need everyone to look at my screen to see how this is done so you don't miss how this works. So once you get to the image you want, you right click on it and you open the image in a new tab. What this does is this isolates the URL up here of just the image, because that's all you want on your website. So I'll just repeat that real quick. You right click on the image and you open the image in a new tab. Then you go to that image and you copy the entire URL up here. Just copy it. Copy. And then you go back to your SkillStruck site And right here where it says example.jpg, that's where you put the URL of the image that you want. So you just paste it right there to replace example.jpg. Okay, hit save and hit run, and your image should just show up there on your website. Mine is really big, so I'll show you how to resize that in a minute. But the first step is getting it to show up in there. If you want to see just how it looks for the whole entire page, down below right here, you can actually open in a new window and you can see your whole website kind of all laid out instead of kind of smushed in this little window on this side. So I'm going to pause there for a second. Is anyone having issues getting their images to show up, to get their images into their website? We're all doing okay? Okay, that's good. That's a good sign. Sometimes this URL can be extremely long, like pages and pages and pages long. I always encourage people to pick maybe a shorter one, but it should work. It should show up anyway. So if you scroll down on the left, you can find how to resize the image. So it has changed the image size. Right here, you add this width equals 300 pixels. PX stands for pixels. You just add that after the URL right here. I always recommend 300. It's a good size. So width equals 300 PX for pixels. And there it goes. It goes in really nice. I actually think that's a little small. I'm going to make it a little bigger. Let's go 500 pixels. There we go. That looks good. So then to flesh out my Egypt website, I think that I'll like embellish a little bit. I'm going to add another paragraph, another header maybe. We'll do H3 and we'll say, how did ancient Egyptians get their food? So then I would make this assignment, hey, I need you to make an entire, like a picture and a paragraph and everything on food collection for ancient Egypt. So then the student would go, okay, then we're gonna add a paragraph and include in here, the Nile is a large river, flows right through Egypt. It has a flooding season that's important for crops. The ancient Egyptians relied on the Nile for food. Then you can really see this project kind of flesh out. So I'm going to go and I'm going to find a picture of the Nile to add to my website here. So we'll do image, and this is good. I'll repeat how to do image just for repetition. Image SRC stands for source equals, and you got to have both of those quotation marks and no closing tag because images just don't. And we'll go back to Pixabay and look for the Nile. Ooh, we got a crocodile. Ooh, this one's good. I'll do this one. So I will open the image in a new tab. Got to right click on it. Click on it, and that's where you take this entire URL here. You go back to SkillStruck and put it between the quotation marks and put it in there. Hit save and hit run. And there it goes. Ooh, this one's super big. Let's open it in a new tab so we can see just how big it is. Yeah, that's a really big image. So I'm going to resize it again. Just after your URL, you just do width. Let's try 300 pixels. Gotta have the quotation marks. There we go. And my website's really starting to flesh out here. So again, does anyone have any questions about images or how to get those to go in? Is everyone able to get on the platform so far? So far, so good? I'm assuming the silence is a good thing, right? That's a good thing on my end. So, okay, we're gonna go on to the next concept. So The students, they really, really love to include videos. So we teach it to get them off of YouTube. Many schools have YouTube blocked. So we don't teach how to do it otherwise because there's just like a lot of security issues with videos. But I'll show you how to do it with YouTube if they're able to use YouTube at your school. So we'll go to the videos lesson and we'll scroll down to the example. Down here, again, I always emphasize, hey, don't steal any material you don't have access to. Just got to be careful about that. So we use this code right here. It looks really long and really complicated. It's really not, so don't worry. It's pretty easy. So what we do is we're gonna open up a new tab and go to YouTube and just look up any video you want. Like I'm gonna want something on about ancient Egypt. Okay, so this one looks pretty safe. So we'll click on that. So you just click on the video you want. And then again, this is a part where you're gonna really need to look at my screen so you don't lose where we are. So once you get to the YouTube video, you can click down here on this share button option, click share. And YouTube's super awesome. They've organized it really easy for programmers. See this button right here at the beginning that says embed? It's got those alligator mouths. That's HTML. So if you click on that, that'll give you the HTML code right here that you need to put it on your website. So you just copy this entire thing. From iframe to iframe, the whole thing, just copy it. And then you go back to your SkillStruck site and you just go wherever you want the video to go and just paste that entire thing. Hit save and hit run. And you scroll down and the video should be there. Pretty slick, pretty easy. I'm gonna do it one more time just in case anyone missed it. So we'll go back. Here's the video I want. You can pick whatever video. And you click on share down here. Again, embed. And you copy this entire bit of code right here that they give you. Copy it, take it back to your SkillStruck site, and paste it. So if I do it again, if I paste it again at the bottom, then the video will display twice because we have it in here twice, if that makes sense. So we'll get rid of one of them because we only want it in there once. Again, it's kind of hard to see all of this. It's kind of crunched over here on the side. So I'll open it in a new window so we can see it all. It's looking pretty good. That's like a pretty decent like project presentation for a history class for a student to be able to do. So I just want to show one more way over here on the YouTube video. Sometimes, just depending on your browser, this option to share down here doesn't show up, or because it's blocked or for whatever reason. Another way, you can just right click right on the video and you can click copy video URL and see how it just copied that. You can take that over and it will give you that, that code right here, this iframe code. Let's go back. Copy video URL. Oh, sorry, I definitely taught that wrong. It's copy the embed code right here, the one with the alligator mouth. So copy embed code and go back over. This is just another way because sometimes they don't give you that share option. So hit run, let's see if it worked. There it is, both of the videos went in. So, all right, I will open it up. Does anyone have any questions or problems with the videos going in? I feel like that one's pretty easy if you click on the right thing to copy. Yes, so if you want to go in here at the bottom, let's see, allow full screen. So we'll do width equals. See up here in the iframe, it already gives you a width. So let's try reframing it right here. The problem with videos is sometimes it like distorts the image because you also have to know exactly how much like height to go. Let's see if it works. That's the thing about coding. I'm always like, try it, see what happens, try it out. Yeah, see how it kind of, like it like mushed the
ancient Egyptian civilization.
The image kind of mushed kind of, but it looks like the video is still good. So yeah. The other thing about coding is there's like 100 ways to do everything. So if it works, it works. Works great. So any other questions about videos, getting those to go in? Okay, awesome. The other thing that, like I opened this website and I don't know what it is about me, but like it bothers me that they're all like aligned left. I want everything to be centered. I don't know. I love centered things. So we'll go ahead and center everything because I really like that. So we'll go to the lesson over here on the left that says text align. This lesson is specifically designed to put the text into the center, not the images or the videos, but I will show you how to center those. We teach that in these other lessons that I'm skipping over, but just for the purpose of this workshop, I'll show you how to center it because I'll go crazy if my image like is over here and my text is all in the middle. So we'll do the text first. Oh dear, gotta get to the right lesson. Okay, so you see there's like some code in here that maybe you're not familiar with. We teach that in other lessons that I'm not gonna go over right now, but it's all the same idea. It's those alligator tags. Here's an H2 tag that's familiar, the paragraph tag. I'm gonna show you what it looks like to have it centered. Where's the example? Here it is. So this H2 style equals text align center. So if you remember, in the header tags up here, we have color and then the colon and then tan or brown and then the semicolon. What that's doing is if we're creating kind of like a list of styles. So we want the color to be tan. Okay, we want the text align to be center. So after the semicolon, which kind of finishes your thought, you go text align colon center and then the semicolon. So if you can kind of see, you're creating this list. So color is tan. Okay, text align is center. You can actually put in as many styling points as you want on every tag. Like professional websites have hundreds of styling points on each and every part of the website. So you just keep like adding to your list. So we'll hit run. See how that aligned my title? We'll open it in a new tab so you can see how it's nice and centered. So I'm gonna go through and center all of that just because I really like things to be centered. So I'll add text align, center. We'll add it here, text align, center. It just makes it look real sharp. We'll do it to this one too. Text align, center. All these ones with words, style equals text align center. Again, if anyone's having any questions about how this is working or if it's not working for you, go ahead and reach out. Style equals text align center. Okay, and then these are images and videos, and we do that just a little bit different. So, okay. Open it in a new tab so you can see. That's nice. See how it's all lined up really nicely. Okay, no questions about how to get that to work. We're doing good. Okay, great. Question about, is the demo available after the session today? Jerem, correct me if I'm wrong, they will have it for a time. How long do they have it?
Yes. Yes, Justin's slacking right now. I'm gonna make sure that there is some time available. So let me make sure that it will be enough time for you guys, and I'll put that back in the chat for you.
Awesome. Yeah, because we definitely want you to like get a good feel of HTML. We want you to walk away with an awesome website. So, okay, let's get these images centered. So here's my image right here. So notice how inside my image opening tag, there's no style equals. We got to add that in. We'll just do it after this width. So style equals, and I do my quotation marks so I don't forget them. So this, again, this is not how we teach this in the lessons. I'm just doing this for the purpose of the workshop. So display, oops, I'm in the chat over here. I don't want to be in the chat. Style equals display block. And I'm just going to show you how to do this. We learned how this works and why this works in the CSS unit, which is awesome. There's so many cool things in the CSS, but we'll just do it real quick. And then, I keep going in the chat, margin equals auto. Okay, so open in a new window. You can see how that's centered now. So I'll go back so you can see how that code looks. So right here, display is block, semicolon. So that's the first thing in our list, in our style list. Like we want the display to be block and we want the margin to be auto. And that puts the image right in the middle. So I'll do it again on this image down here. Display equals block, margin equals, sorry, I keep saying equals with the colon, auto. It lines it right up. We'll do it on the video too, just so that everything looks good. Display, block, margin, auto. Now everything's all lined up super nicely. And I can just envision this kid in like a history class, like coming up to the front of the room and say, hey, here's my website about ancient Egypt. This is everything I've learned. Here's all of the information, and kind of giving a presentation on their website. So I think that would be super awesome. I would way rather do that as a fourth grader than like a PowerPoint, but I actually like variety. So a bunch of different things I think is good. But yeah, any questions about aligning everything on your page? That all went pretty well? Doing good? Okay. All right, looks like we have time to do fonts. So we'll go up and we'll go to fonts. It's closer up here at the top. Fonts really make your website look like really cool. So we'll just go through this on how to do it. You scroll down. You just put it again. It's just another styling piece. So you just add that to your style list. So I'll demonstrate on this header at the top, this H1. So we've got color is tan. Okay, text align is center. We also want font family to be something. They're called families. I think it's cute. So font family. And notice how it's connected with this hyphen. That's super important. There's no such thing as two words in styling pieces. So font family with the hyphen, colon, and we'll do cursive just to show. Hit run. See how that changes the font there on your website. So again, it's just adding different things to your styling to make it do different things. So the kids are gonna ask, okay, so what are all the options? Like what kind of fonts can I do? Here's a list of some. These ones will work on all browsers. And then if you scroll down further, there's a bunch of other ones. These ones are a little bit more fun. The problem is that it depends on the version of browser you are on and like how updated it is and everything, if these will work or not, which is really frustrating. But so if you're on like Safari, or if you're on Chrome, or if you're on Internet Explorer or whatever, it just affects whether these manifest or not. I'll show what they look like because they will on mine, but if they're not showing up for you, that's why. It's just depends on the browser. So I think this would look really good with fantasy. I really like that one. It's got kind of like that ancient feel. So here's my ancient Egypt project. And let's add another font down on maybe the paragraphs. So you go to your paragraph tag, add the semicolon, and we'll do font family. Let's see, I like Chalk Duster. We'll do that one. There we go. That makes it look really good. So maybe some requirements for like your history website. You could say, like I want you to have 3 colors and I want you to have 3 fonts and 2 paragraphs, 2 images. Like that's your requirement for your ancient Egypt project. So that way they know all of the different requirements and they'll practice all of their coding in that way. So any issues with getting fonts to go in or making the fonts show up? There's like hundreds of different kinds of fonts online. These are just the ones that we recommend that work most of the time. These ones at the top should work for every browser. So I think that's super awesome to get the fonts to go in there. I think that this particular website, I think it needs a background color. I think we have time for that. I really want to give it a background color. Ooh, but we have to teach body for that. Let's go to background color. We'll do it on individual tags instead of on. Okay, we're wanting the background color. Okay, it's not just me. I'm like, this needs to be tan or sandy or something. I'm like, it's just too white. Okay, what time is it? Okay, we totally have time for this. So the thing about the background color is I'm assuming you guys want it on the entire background of the entire web page. Because if we put it on, I'll show you how to put it just in something we already have. So let's put it on our H1 up here. So we're just gonna add to our list. Okay, so we'll add background color, like it really obvious, you can see blue. And we hit run. You can see what happened is the background color just went on that H1 tag. And it did that because we told it to. We put it right up here on the H1 tag, when that's not what we actually want. We want the entire website to be blue. So we're putting it in the wrong place. So I'm going to teach you where it goes to be able to apply to the entire web page. So up at the top, before your H1 tag, you're going to create a new tag that we do teach in our curriculum. I just skipped over it because I didn't think we'd have time for this, but you guys are quick learners. So it's called the body tag. So that's the opening tag. And remember, we need to have the closing tag right here, right? With the / body. Here's the thing, is the things that go inside the body tag is everything that you've created. So everything that you've done so far goes inside this tag. The body tag wraps everything that you've done together. So we'll do that by taking this closing tag and we'll cut it. So we've got the opening tag, everything that you've made, and then the closing tag is the closing body tag is the last thing that you should have on your website. So it's like this giant tag that has everything nested inside of it. And we teach it all about that in our curriculum, but I'm just giving you a crash course. So we hit run, notice it doesn't do anything, but the body tag is awesome because everything that you style on the body tag will apply to your entire website. So let's do style equals background color blue. Now see how that applied to your entire website. The other like snazzy thing that you can do on the body tag is you can add any sort of styling element that you want. So say you wanted your entire website to have this font, you just put it on the body tag and it will apply to everything on your website. So notice down here, I've got some that haven't been styled yet. If I put it on the body tag, it should style. So I'm gonna add it up here, font, family, fantasy, run, and see how it applied to everything on the website just instantly. So that's like a shortcut in your styling, so you don't have to style every single tag. You can just style the body, so then it styles everything. So I'm gonna want them all to be orange too, so that they show up. Color, orange. Yeah, also color, just color affects your text. So background color affects the background. So see how that just like styled all of my font like right away? So it's pretty slick. I actually really don't like this color of blue. How about we do maybe yellow? Ooh, brave. Okay, all right, yellow's okay. So actually in our CSS unit, we have a design unit where we teach kids, hey, this looks good. This doesn't look good, because believe it or not, like that has to be taught. So yeah. Any questions about the body tag? That was kind of quick, about how it opens at the top and it closes at the bottom, and then you can style the entire web page. Doing okay?
Yes,
Okay.
that's outstanding, outstanding. Thank you, thank you. I've really been learning so much, and looking forward to integrating this into working with students.
Cool. Yeah, I think we've got about 5 minutes left. I think I'm gonna just kind of leave it open for you guys to play around in if you want to explore some of these other lessons over here on the left. You're welcome to try those out. Marquise is a fun one. It kind of scrolls the text across the page.
And
Was there
in,
anybody else that needed some time here at the end? We've got about 5 minutes. Did Jerem or Omar have other things you wanted to say or share?
yeah, I'll definitely share that I'm so thankful for the opportunity to collaborate with SkillStruck and to provide this opportunity to introduce folks that maybe haven't seen HTML or how we can engage students with it. But I want to share with everyone, please do make sure you check out our website. The California K-12 Computer Science Standards present a great opportunity to integrate across all content areas. The standards were developed for teachers, by teachers, and right there on our website, you'll find all of those resources. Also, be sure to fill out our feedback survey, as that really helps us to make sure that the opportunities we provide resonate with the needs you have. And please do join us tomorrow, where we'll be getting together with Girls Who Code, talking about starting up a coding club. And really just want to share, it's not about excluding boys, but rather talking about the importance of having safe spaces for girls to engage in coding. And then Thursday, we'll be doing Coding at Home with Ozobot. So again, I want to thank everyone for joining us, and I'll leave the balance of the time to our friends from SkillStruck.
Awesome. Thank you, Omar. And again, thank you, Amy. Your website looks awesome. I mean, I can't imagine if I had something like this to do in high school or junior high, it would be insane. You've done great work, and I'm thankful for your knowledge. It looks like EH, if that's how you pronounce it, I'm just going to spell it out there. I had a question, Amy, if you're able to answer.
Yeah, I saw those. So actually from the SkillStruck site, we do not teach students how to publish it to the web, because that opens up a big can of worms of privacy and safety and things like that. If students want to put it on the web, they can do that privately, but that's not something that we do. You as a teacher can, however, with your SkillStruck account, you can publish your website, but not students. If you want to save your code that you have right here, right now, you can download it. There's a place, the button up at the top for you to download this file, or it's really easy. You just copy all of this. You just copy that and you can put it into like a Word document or anything, and you can use that code in any HTML editor. Anything that can read HTML, you can paste it in there and just have it. So I'd recommend that. Just copy your work, just copy it and put it into somewhere that you'll be able to keep. How do you find the URL for the image? So again, you find your image, right click, open it in a new tab, and then the URL up there in the new tab is the image for your website. Let's see, any other last questions on here? How to download it, how to save your stuff.
I would like to share that I did just send in the chat. It's not on the calendar yet, but if you enjoyed this, I was excited to learn SkillStruck has a Python section as well. And I talked with Jerem about maybe coming back and doing a coding event where we engage in Python. So we'll go ahead and talk about that, and hopefully we can come back soon and invite you to join us to explore that.
Yeah, that would be way exciting. We love helping teachers get more exposure to different languages. So anything we can do would be great. One thing I wanted to mention, if you didn't see in the chat, you will have access to this demo account for the next week. As long as you're on the same browser, same computer, use the link that I'll have Omar send to everybody again. It's the SkillStruck/playground one. So the playground link, when you click that one, everything will work well. Now this is just a student demo account for you, the educators, administrators, teachers. If you have If you want to be able to see the really inside and out of the secondary and the elementary platform, like I mentioned, we are K through 12. This is just the secondary platform. If you'd like to see both, I'll make sure Omar sends you my email. You can reach out and I'll give you access to a test account where you can play through all of it as a teacher and be able to manage students, see all the lesson plans that we have built out, and a lot of the cool auto grading features and challenges and games. So a lot of different things. So I know we don't have a ton of time to go over everything in this hour. So please feel free to reach out and I can get that set up for you. Oh, Omar, looks like you're there.
Sorry. Let's just say you were going through the content and you were really enjoying what you were going through and maybe you wanted to revisit it. Do know we are recording the session. It'll be up on our website by tomorrow and you'll be able to follow along asynchronously with the video and doing it, synchronously. Thank you so much. So I do know we're right at about the 4 o'clock time. I did just drop that link there. Thank you again to everyone for joining us. And I'm hopeful you'll join us tomorrow. And please do complete our feedback survey as that will help us as well. Thank you again to Jerem and the SkillStruck team. Thank you, Amy, for leading us on a wonderful session. Thank you, Donnelly, and the rest of the friends from SkillStruck. And I want to wish everybody a great afternoon. And I hope to see you tomorrow.
Okay, awesome.
Bye now.
Omar, there might be a question there at the bottom too, if you want to